what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, don't know where you've been, but we're here.
Where you been?
Tony, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. The sun is out. Birds are chirping. I'm happy to be here. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know. It's been rain. It's been good for my grass.
Yeah.
So me and my grass has had a little battle.
Okay, talk about it.
Had the dandelions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I feel like they came from my neighbors. I hope my neighbor ain't watching, but I feel like they came from my neighbor's yard. Is that a thing? Like can
the
dandelions travel?
I don't think it. I just think it happens.
Yeah.
Like everybody get dandelions at the same time.
I read somewhere like if your neighbors have them,
They just spreads.
they can like spread.
Well, maybe we need to go chat with the neighbor.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but like it was bad. And so I tried this new service called like Sunday Line.
Yeah.
It's not a plug, it's just Sunday Line.
Yeah.
And it's been working. Like I sprayed. So first year, it's like a little system.
Okay.
And they send you stuff like a box every month.
Mm-hmm.
And so within the system, I put down first, it's like some kind of fertilizer,
Mm-hmm.
spray it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then they send some other stuff where it's called, I don't know what it's called, but they can send you like grass seed.
Yeah.
And so within that, like you can purchase extra stuff. So I bought like this dandelion spray
Mm-hmm.
and sprayed all my dandelions with the spray and they were gone.
How long did it take for the dandelions to die, to go away?
Well, the first spray that they sent was like this, you like spot treat them, but I had so many and I'm like, am I supposed to spot treat all these dandelions?
Yeah.
So I go out there
And you spray
not
everything.
knowing. So I was out there just spot. I know my neighbors was looking like, what is it? Because I got some neighbors, they got some pretty nice lawns. So
Yeah.
I'm spot treating all of them. And then I'm like, nah, this can't be right. Like, cause it's too many.
Yeah.
And I ran out and I'm like, I got my front yard and my backyard is just like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
We here too.
Right.
So I called them, the customer service. They were like, no, you need the hook it up to your water hose spray.
Oh.
So they sent me that and I sprayed them all. And within like 2 days, they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Well, if you
we outta
need to head down south, because it's a couple of dandelions in my front yard as well. And I looked at TJ the other day. I said, dang.
well, I'm telling you though, like this system is called Sunday Line. So you should try it. It's not expensive.
Line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunday Line.
I will try that because dandelions are so ugly to me.
Yeah.
You know, like you have the sunflowers, like those are pretty, but the dandelions, it just looks like mess.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah. Nah, they tear up your yard.
Yeah.
And it's me and like my neighbor behind me is the one with all the dandelions.
Did you go knock on his door and tell him to get some Sunday Lawn?
No,
got a referral
no, but I
program?
tried to like when I was spraying my yard, I tried to like,
Yeah.
like rebuke you.
Rebuke you, the dandelions, anything else you have over there.
Yeah, I tried, but they still there. And like once I cut my grass, I bagged it. I bagged like all the clippings or whatever. Like when I tell you I've been like a greensman.
Listen, because I'm sitting here and I'm just like shocked. Like, tell me more. Look, I didn't know Steve had a green thumb.
No, I'm
we
telling you.
start a garden next.
No.
Okay,
That's not. I'm not going that far.
Okay,
but
we're
like
drawing the line
I
there.
like to have a nice manicured lawn, you know.
Yeah.
And so like I cut my grass, and then I got the clippings or whatever and put it all. I bagged it all up, dumped it, and then they sent me like grass seed. So it's supposed to be like overseeding. I have a dog, and so dog urine can like kill a yard.
Yeah.
And so this grass seed works even when your dog urinates on it. It still like grows.
Good to know.
Yeah,
I have a dog as well.
Yeah, so I've been did that, and so like this rain has helped because they said water it to at least 1 or 2 times a day. Ain't had to do that.
Yeah,
that took out like a portion of my day that I got back because I didn't have to water.
Yeah, and a nice manicured lawn, like it really can make any house or any place look just crisp and put together.
Yeah.
So okay, Sunday lawn.
Yep, Sunday lawn. So yeah, you gotta try it out. Other than that, how was your week?
My week was good. Just busy with the kiddo, basketball. Joined my uncle at his nonprofit organization called Christmas in October, and they basically, connect with like your different construction companies or people who just want to volunteer and help rehab houses or build houses. So it was pretty cool to be a part of that event on Thursday and support him. But I have been in my sports mom era real bad. Game today, 2 games tomorrow. So TJ hit a 360 spin last week.
Really?
He did spin. He laid it up there. Y'all, why when we went to go watch the footage back, somebody's grandpa walked right during the part where TJ did the spin. So you see him with the ball.
That's bad.
You don't see anything else, and then you see him shoot it up. I said, my goodness. Nursing home.
That's bad.
Immediately.
Did you hit that text line like, hey, whose grandpa is this?
You know what?
Whose man's is this?
Whose man's is this? That's okay, because I got the picture of it. I'm going to look for him at the next game, and I'm going to say, sir, while this team is playing, you sit down. Don't you get up.
Okay.
Until halftime. Okay? Take care of what you need to take care of at halftime, but you sit down.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I was into it. I was into the game. TJ and they were trailing like 13, and they came back. I think at this time when TJ scored, they were in the lead. So of course, I was hyped. I think my phone fell out my lap and everything. I stood up, started clapping. I was like, let me sit down. These just 7th graders.
Okay.
So
all right.
But thanks, Grandpa.
Q, how's your week, man?
It's good, man. I've been on the same journey as you, in the yard all week. I needed I got a lot of trees, so I've got a never-ending forest of leaves.
Oh yeah,
in my yard, and I've got a pretty big backyard, so it's like takes days.
Got to recruit some of them high schoolers.
Or Steve. Recruit Steve.
I should. I've got a couple of little cousins I should like give a couple of dollars to.
You want TJ?
We could probably do that too. I've enjoyed being in the yard and just having my headphones in and kind of like zoning out.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a super rush. Like normally I would try to like get through some stuff so I can get it done. It's kind of like relaxing. So
therapeutic. It is.
I see why my dad spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
Out in that yard.
It's the simple things, like as we get older, and when we were younger, we would always wonder why our parents did certain things now. And now that we're old, I'm just like, it's the simple things.
What's the lethal shooter say? I get it now.
Yeah. I get it now.
I get it now. No, he's I understand now.
Yeah.
I understand it now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of tournaments, Peyton had a tournament in Arkansas last week.
How did he do?
It was good. There's a lot of rain down south last week, and one of their games got rained out. So it's like, and I don't really like it, but the fact that because it's pool play first 2 days, or they play since we traveled, they gave us the games on Saturday, and so they got through their first game. Should have won the first one, ended up losing. I think it was like 4-3. Or 3-4, whatever. And then the second game was later on in the evening, and that got rained out. Like they started it, the guy came, was like, "No, get them off the field, whatever." But they can play because it's turf. Yeah. But when I say it was raining and cold, and so they didn't count that one. So we were basically 0-1 going into the bracket play, and they put us in like the bottom pool
Really dig themselves out.
Yeah, well, no, once you're in the bottom pool, it's like the consolation bracket. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, you're not in the winner's bracket anymore. You're just in the consolation
Gotcha,
bracket.
yeah.
So we won the first game on Sunday and then lost the second. So the second to go to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always tough playing on the road. I remember when we played in Omaha during that little League World Series tournament, and we got thrashed. We got thrashed pretty much every game.
Yeah.
But it's different on that road.
Yeah.
It is. The road. I mean, it was a good drive down. Shout out to my guys over at Ricem and Nissan.
Yeah.
They hooked your boy up with the 2025.
Okay.
Nissan Armada.
We're moving on up.
Yeah, we are. So if you guys are in the market, watching, listening to us on 100.1 FM, go check them out. Right, just south of the airport. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
All right, we got a lot to talk about today. This is gonna be an interesting show, to say the least. We're gonna talk to some Shedeur Sanders. I know Q is ready to talk about his Eagles going to the White House, their visit, some folks that were not there. We'll also talk Chiefs 3-day rookie minicamp starting today. So if you're driving around, I don't know if fans are allowed, but you can drive past and see some of the rookies out there on the field, rookies and injured players and so forth. We'll also dive into Dawn Staley. She has been honored with her own statue.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that, and then about 30 minutes, we'll get to our sneakers of the week. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on The W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, the Chiefs have begun their 3-day rookie minicamp today, and it's going through Monday. And it's where all the draft picks, the unrestricted free agents, the signings, and then you have some tryout guys that are there. Also, they have the injured veterans who come back. So if you're interested in checking out some of these rookies, of course, you can watch some of I believe they'll be the Chiefs will be streaming some of it online. So after you're done checking us out, turn on over to the Chiefs online and check them out. But they have all of their draft picks. Of course, I want to get you guys' thoughts on just this draft grade from this Chiefs team this year.
So I'm not going to lie. After the first round, I don't think I really paid attention to anything else outside of when is Shedeur Sanders going to go. But from what I saw on the social media platforms, fans seem, pleased with who we got this year.
I think first round, I would give them a B for now. Pulling in, he's a left tackle, right?
Yep, he's left tackle. Josh Simmons.
He was injured, wasn't he? I think I heard that, didn't I?
Yep.
Oh, he was injured at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Okay. I still give them a B. The Chiefs needed somebody that came up playing left tackle. They needed somebody that knows the position, knows the strength of the linebackers and the edge rushers that are going to be coming from that end. And one thing that really handicapped the Chiefs was having another makeshift line in a Super Bowl loss. Having guys that had been in and out all season, had issues all season from I forget about week one and two last year. What was it? Jawan Taylor had all of those false starts and different penalties. So you would hope as an organization they clean that up. And that's why I give them a B just in the first round, because you have a need that needed to be addressed, and especially to protect, Patrick throughout the, the rest of his career. Because I don't see him leaving the Chiefs at all to play anywhere else. And to solidify that, you need an offensive line for that. So being able to draft that position to be able to mold someone, Steve, you probably know better than me. I don't know if he starts, week one. He might be a guy that needs to sit, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 games, if not the full season, before coming in next year to really solidify the starting role. But the Chiefs have some interesting what we call it, like Tetris, to make happen in a lot of these contract negotiations coming up. And Steve, how do you feel about the late round picks?
Back to the first round pick, real quick. I like him. However, you're basically, since he was injured, of course, he transferred from San Diego State. That's where he was, and then went to Ohio State. I mean, anybody you get from Ohio State is quite legit. It's supposed to be. Yeah. So he went from the mid-major to one of the top programs in college football, and then he was injured. Like, he was projected to be top 10. And now you're kind of rolling the dice, basically a gamble a little bit, because he had that patella tendon injury. And they, just looking at what the doctors have said, is that that's one of the worst injuries that you can have, depending on, what part of it you tear. And so I really feel like you're taking a gamble, but if you're going to gamble, then it's a good gamble to have. I mean, Rick Burkhalter is one of the top trainers, physicians in the league. He's been with Andy Reid from Philly all the way now here to Kansas City. So they trust what Rick has to say. And Rick's told him, like, flat out, you guys need to take him. He looks good. He checks all the boxes. And I really believe that he's going to be fine. There's no rush. You brought in Jalen Moore from San Francisco, who is the backup to Trent Williams, their left tackle. So there's no rush. You got this young dude who can learn, and Andy Reid is the offensive lineman whisperer, I guess you can say. Knows a lot about offensive linemen. And I feel like he's going to come into a program where he's going to be able to learn and not have to be thrown into the fire. I mean, you still got Wanye Morris, who going on into his third year. You're going to have Kingsley, who's going to move into that left guard spot, and then across the line. So just talking to Brett Veach draft night, he was like, it's a good problem to have, just getting all these guys. And you go from, having to kind of plug and play a little bit to now you've got a full lineman room where you can best man up mentality. So, I mean, that first round pick, I think they hit the nail on the head. Now, the later rounds, at that point, you kind of got to go with what you need. We knew that the Chiefs needed a corner. We knew the Chiefs needed a defensive tackle, because Chris Jones is getting older. You've got to find somebody that's going to be able to replace him. We knew that the Chiefs needed, people say a running back, but I feel like Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt would be good. But this is a running back deep draft, so you have to take one. So they took a running back. Then you think about just linebacker. You need that. So all the needs that they needed, they fulfilled those needs.
Yeah. And I'm even looking at the defensive tackle that they drafted in round 2 out of Tennessee. I didn't know Derek Nottie was gone.
Yep.
So you lose
friend of the show, Derek Nottie.
Yeah, you lose Derek Nottie and Tershawn Wharton. That still gives them depth. It's up to this kid, how much he plays. And Mike Pennell is a good inside guy, but then Chris Jones,
they're both old though.
And that's what I was getting at. Like, Chris Jones is that veteran that's getting up there, but he's still a presence, and you can't take away from that. You would just hope that, the guys that they got in round 2 and 3 can really pull it together as far as production. I think Karl Loftus did a good job of coming in and being effective immediately. And pretty much learned within his first couple of years how to navigate within, the defensive system that the Chiefs have. But it also could be a very complicated system. I mean, you don't have Justin Reed anymore. Like, you don't have that captain on defense. And I don't know if Chris Jones is like a captain in that sense. Like, I don't know if Chris Jones is that is he that vocal leader that guys look up to in the locker room?
He is. I
but-
mean, you got those guys. I mean, you got Chris Jones. You mentioned Mike Pennell. He's one too.
But also, like, do you have someone that could almost be like the point guard of the defense that Tyron and Justin Reed was, that really, makes people, make sure people are in their positions that they need to be, calling the right plays, noticing the right, audibles and things that they may have. I think it'll be tough for them.
But it's funny you bring that up. So the Chiefs went from being very young to very old real quick.
Real quick. Yeah.
I mean, you think about George Karlaftis. You think about the Chris Joneses, Nick Bolton. I mean, he's contract season last year. So think about Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie's 3 years in now. He's coming up on a contract year, 4 years in. So the Shamar Connors, he's not a rookie anymore. He's 3 years. He's going on his third season. Brian Cook, he's going on his, third year. So all these guys are vets now. Then you bring back Mike Edwards, who is a veteran guy who's won the Super Bowl with these guys, who goes back to I think Mike went to, I can't remember where Mike went to, but he ended up coming back now. And he's a veteran dude. But I think if I'm taking a guess on where this leadership's going to come from, I would say Chris Jones. I would say a guy like Mike Edwards.
Is that enough to have a defensive leader like that?
There's no Tyron or Justin. No.
And I'm saying that from the sense of like, if you look at the Texans when they had JJ Watt, JJ Watt was that leader, especially on defense when you think of playmakers and things like that. But once the ball gets past the first line of defense, then who do you have? Yeah. And that could be a tough thing for the Chiefs coming up.
I mean, I would say he's not that vocal guy, but I would say Trent is.
He's very cool, calm, collected. He gives me I just want to go out here and play. I want someone to guide and lead me.
Yeah.
I'll be a leader in my role, but he doesn't give me, all right, y'all, let's get together. Let's do XYZ, things like that.
And I think that's what Tyron and Justin were back to back over the last 5 years. So,
and two, you got to remember too, those guys both had, and I know it's not always about contract, but those guys those are the big money guys, right? So those big money guys oftentimes are your leaders. They come up to the crib, I got the chef cooking dinner, or let's go out to eat, bills on me. Those type of guys, because they had the bigger house. The money dudes had the big houses. They had the wherewithal to be able to say, all right, come, and it's on me. I'm taking care of it. Those are, and it ain't always about money, but then again, it is. That's the big homie.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. So you got more resources, more knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I see a drop off in the Chiefs for this coming season. Almost a Super Bowl hangover. Because the expectations are going to be so high for these young guys that are still going to be trying to figure out life and the league simultaneously.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like they've been trying to figure out life in the league for the past couple of years.
You think so?
Yeah. I feel like the past couple of years, we've just been the one to win the game, But I feel like it's always been are we able to win without this person? Or you always say the chasing the ghost
of
Tyreek Hill. So I mean, I think the Chiefs are amazing. Love them down. I'm gonna stick beside them regardless. But I do feel like for the past couple of years, we have been they've been trying to figure out life in the league.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll see. And I know it's a little early, but you really don't know how your draft pans out until get to the end of the year when you can say, all right, these guys are no longer rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And then there's still time to get some free agents.
Yeah, of course.
To pull in. So,
all right, we talked Chiefs drafts finally over. But there's one question we've got to discuss. That's Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
How did he slide from potential first round pick to fifth round pick in the NFL draft?
The writing was on the wall. And I really didn't recognize it that it started so early between like December and January, when you have a lot of the guys talking about these prospects coming up. But there was far too many opinions outside of his game on him as a person, that really showed like the hypocrisy of sports as a whole when it comes to black athletes. And it's tough, but how do you go around it? How do you not be yourself? Like, how do you not be an Ocho Cinco that's, gonna run and do the antics after touchdown celebrations? Like, how do you not have the ultimate confidence in yourself, but then also have the jewelry and the things that make it like bad, but also it wasn't bad for Kirk Cousins to be rocking the chain after wins. So it's a slippery slope, but at the end of the day, the NFL is about control, and the NFL wants to control the narrative, and it's very separate from like the NBA. The NBA, we don't really get that. The NBA kind of allows the players almost to like control the narrative, but
now they do.
But also we're in this era where NBA media does not talk about the game. They talk about Bronny. Like we talked about Bronny from October to about January or February until LeBron said something. And then we started talking about basketball. Like we knew nothing about, the guys in the league that were doing well, that were most improved. Like we didn't know much of that. And so the NBA's kind of loosened up on that, but the NFL, it's strictly control. And I mean, the comparison that I have is with Colin Kaepernick. Like they colluded, the entire league colluded against Colin Kaepernick, and it was the same thing that we saw with Shedeur. Like let's not give this guy a platform. We have to force him to prove himself. And that's, I mean, the league is that. It's a what have you done for me lately league. And Shedeur is just getting into the league, and his dad hadn't been in the league for almost 2 decades. So I hate it for Shedeur, but if you're Shedeur, this is probably the best situation that you could have, because if you do well on a team that historically does not know how to draft or develop a quarterback, you could end up somewhere else. And this is a league that always needs quarterbacks, because there's always going to be your Nathan Petermans, your Kirk Cousins, your certain different starters that are the prototypical QB, but also they aren't effective in the locker room. Guys don't listen to their voice. Guys don't want to go hang out with them outside of the facility and outside of the, like, off the field. Like you need people like the Shedeur Sanders, and I can even go a step further than that. Like you need like your Jalen Hurts. You need certain guys that are around that can corral the players and get everybody on the same page and buy into the system. And Shedeur is one of those guys that he has a dad that, puts him in that position to be able to, to rally those guys. So it's tough, but like, how do you stop the NFL from controlling everything that they want to control?
I don't think you can. Because there's too many people who, love the game and they're going to tune in. Like, unless majority of people got together, it's like, we're not going to watch, or, we're going to hurt them with the ratings, because obviously ratings and advertisers, like all of that type of stuff plays into it, which makes me want to just throw out here, because again, scrolling on the social medias, someone brought up, could this have been a marketing ploy?
Could have been to force people to watch the draft.
To force people to watch the draft. Something like I did. Like I was tuned in. I was on my phone, like in the middle of TJ's basketball game. Like, nope, he didn't go yet. oh, he did go, and then after that, I was just like, oh, I don't really care to watch anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I really feel like Dion hurt Shedeur. And my reason for saying that is because Dion kind of wrote some checks that his son couldn't cash.
Like the tweet where he
Like
said that he was going.
like the interviews where Dion was like, all right, you're gonna have to. These are places that we're gonna go. The Clevelands of the world, the New Englands of the world, the Giants. We're not coming to you. That's just point blank. We're not coming to you guys. And once he said that, that takes top 5 teams that are picking in the draft. That takes them completely out of it. And kind of when he said that, Dion was trying to control the narrative. And then once he tried to control it, I think Shedeur kind of fed into that and is like, oh, well, shoot, I'm Shedeur. I'm gonna come up with my own like slogan. Nothing's wrong with that, but I'm gonna come up with my own slogan and all this stuff. But Shedeur wasn't. I don't feel like he was a top quarterback in college last year. Like, I mean, of course, you're in the Big 12. If you want to be a top 5 quarterback, then I would say, win some of these top games. Lead your team to some wins. And I don't feel like Shedeur was that. Now, can it be looked at as, Dion trying to set the stage a little bit? Yeah. Because I feel like he really was trying to set the stage for his son and give you, like you said, viewers. But I really don't think Shedeur was, I can't say not ready, but I don't think he was a top 5, 10 pick. Like, I think he went where he really was supposed to go. And then you look at Shedeur, the process of him going, during the combine where he didn't work out. He didn't throw. He waited till his pro day at his school, which nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys have done that. But then he kind of treated his combine like it was not a mockery, but he treated it as though it wasn't something that it was like he was already going. Like he didn't care about it. Like I'm not going here. This is what I'm doing. Y'all gonna change the culture. Y'all gonna change. Like, who are you to make these demands? Who are you? You ain't done nothing in school. But then I see a lot of people try to portray, well, with Tom Brady went 7th, yeah, but Tom Brady also balled, right? Like Tom Brady did all this stuff, and then they compared him to like Eli Manning. They compared like they threw the Johnny Manziel out there, but these dudes was dogs in college. Like Johnny was out there. Balling. Johnny was putting up points at he was at, what was he at, A&M first, then or Oklahoma.
And who was his top receiver that's still in the league?
But still, listen, hear me out. But still, hear me out. He was still balling even with the receiver. You had he had a top 5 receiver too. Shedeur did.
All of his receivers got drafted.
Yeah, so when you think about
who was
that,
throwing them the ball?
But when you think about that, though, from this perspective of you've got to be able to fit the mold, and it just wasn't what they was looking for. And people say, oh, well, Mike Tomlin had the opportunity to draft him. Well, Mike Tomlin has higher ups, and I don't feel like Mike Tomlin is concerned about his job at all. But in the back of your mind, it's like, all right, if I have Shedeur on my team and I lose with this quarterback that Shedeur sitting, if I'm not bringing him in to be a starter and I have him sitting behind X player, right, and we're losing, and I put him in, and oh well, we still don't do what we're supposed to do. I might get the chopping block. Mike Tomlin's already on thin ice, right? And who next would they bring in? You know how media portrays that narrative, like, well, oh, Deion's next up, like they did with Dallas. Deion's next up. They have Shedeur. He's always coached his son. He said he wouldn't go to the league unless he could coach his son. Well, they just fired Mike Tomlin, so here it is. So now, if I'm Mike Tomlin, nah, I ain't worried. I ain't doing that. If I'm any of these other coaches, no, I'm not bringing in this kid that
my job, and yeah, you're an NFL coach, but still in the back of your mind, you're gonna be thinking that. Am I gonna bring in my replacement? Nah, I ain't doing it. So there's all that the portrayal that was out there around Shedeur now from his off the field. I think that grew bigger than his on the field play. If that's all that to sum up that his off the field antics, not even antics, but the off the field stuff around him was bigger than his play. A lot of these guys, it overshadowed it. And you can't have that. Like you can get it to where it's parallel, but we know these NFL teams will take guys that have done
that's
all kind of stuff.
Like I said, there's several Nathan Petermans around the league. A lot of quarterbacks that are the prototypical quarterback that don't belong in the league at all. So again, like they don't have the talent or the marketing or the business, the marketing or the branding aspects for themselves as a player, but they're still in the league. And I think the comparison to an Eli Manning is more comparable because they came in before the draft even saying we're not going with this team. And being able to say that they were able to control the narrative around Eli. And we're also going to see this same scenario play out next year with Arch Manning when he decides to go to the draft. And it's going to be very different. A very different conversation than what we had with Shedeur. Arch Manning probably is not going to pull out chains and watches to celebrate with and all of that. But the confidence and the cockiness is still going to be there, and it's not going to hurt him. It's going to be the pluses and the upsides and the passionate talk around the type of quarterback he is, and he comes from a quarterback family, royalty, and all that. But it's a lot of hypocrisy within there, and then all they have to say is he's not the right fit for us. But then when you look at who fits for them, like, tell me about the last 5 Giants quarterbacks. You can't. Like they stuck with Daniel Jones for a very long time, gave him a very
You already know I can tell you about the last Giants quarterback.
Okay.
The one that you hate the most.
Exactly. And but he also had a dad that played in the league. He was able to pick the team and the franchise that he went to because it was in a big media.
And I ain't even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one more recently from this year.
Well, who is
my boy Drew?
Oh. So you're telling me that the Giants think that Daniel Jones and Drew Lock are miles ahead of Shedeur Sanders? I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to hear about fit.
I would say experience-wise, yes. I would say experience-wise, yes.
No.
I would say experience-wise, yes. There's no experience, league experience, and game reps, and those live bullets flying at you.
Look,
yes.
you could do that, and also Nathan Peterman has more experience than him. But I'm not going to make any promises because I like to let time tell the story. And
you did tell the story. No pun intended.
No, yeah, because I feel like time is going to tell the story. And when we look back, 2 and 3 years from now, when Shedeur is starting on the team,
he's gonna start this year,
and he took over, the starting job from, the right fit quarterback. We're going to be able to look at this and everybody's going to be like, oh, you know what? Well, you were right. Or whatever it was. Like, we could see things revealed over time. And a lot of what the NFL does is they BS us with this right fit. And, they have too many issues in personality. Like, they just make up too many excuses. And nothing is about being the best team. It's about who's going to make the most money.
So let me ask y'all both this real quick before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the Browns' current depth chart, they have Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Daniel Gabriel.
If we're talking about experience and talent, he's probably 3 on that list. And I would say he's probably 2A and 2B to Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco is an interception machine. So, I mean,
he also won a Super Bowl too, though.
Oh, okay. Eli Manning won a Super Bowl.
That means a lot, Q.
Trent-
We go back and forth about this all the time, but winning the Super Bowl.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. We also do not talk about him. So winning a Super Bowl it's great for a personal resume, but when it comes to talent, that doesn't speak to more talent at all.
So leading, I would give you that argument if we were talking about like a running back, or we were talking about like a lineman.
Trent Dilfer and Eli Manning are better than Dan Marino. Okay, Warren Moon.
No, I can't.
I mean, we
can
can keep going down the list.
But we talking about Shedeur, a rookie who don't have no experience.
Yes.
So like when you that it means a lot leading your team. My point is it means a lot leading your team to a Super Bowl victory. Being a QB, that means a whole lot compared to somebody who hasn't.
Okay. But he also had Ray Lewis on the other side. So I guess that don't mean nothing.
I'll tell you what does mean something. It's talking about your Philadelphia Eagles. Let's dive right in, because this has been a hot topic amongst social media and news outlets pretty much all week. So there's been a dozen Philadelphia Eagles players who skipped the White House visit with Donald Trump earlier this week. Jalen Hurts and 11 other Eagles players were not in attendance at the White House on April 28th. Following the Eagles visit on Monday, April 28th, the list of 11 players came out from NBC Sports Philadelphia's John Clark. The additional players who did not attend was A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell.
Good for them.
If I just got married to a beautiful black woman and I am the Super Bowl MVP, I have other things to worry about. I do have scheduling issues. I don't want to go to the White House where they're talking about deporting people. On the
flip side of that, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley thinks that those criticizing his recent outings with Donald Trump are mistaken by his actions and talking about politics and not sports.
Saquon
your thoughts on that, because he's not. I can say he was one of the leaders on the team. Would you agree?
Saquon?
Yeah.
Performance-wise, yes.
This kind of, you think about Jalen Hurts saying, no, I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at Saquon, say, I am going. I'm going to spend the day with him. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to ride on the Air Force One or whatever the name of the Air Force One's name of the plane. I'm going to spend the day with Trump, right? I'm going to go to the White House. I'm going to do all these things. Does that kind of split a locker room a little bit?
I don't think it does.
Really?
Yeah, because we could have used our own example here with the whole Harrison Butker thing. I don't think that split our locker room at all. I think everybody, respected. Everyone is going to respect everyone's political view and opinions and things like that. I don't think we're going to see anything out there, on the field. But I'm pretty sure in the back of their head, they're going to be like, wow, this guy really did that. It's not going to leave. They're going to remember it for sure.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you think about these NFL teams and them saying, oh, we're going to the White House, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're making it as a team decision.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen Hurts say he ain't going, we ain't going.
Mm-hmm. One band, one sound.
Yeah. I mean, so to me, and I'll ask you, Q, does that make him less of a leader? If they still not less of a leader, do they not follow Jalen Hurts as much as they should?
No. You spent the last 9 to 10 months with Saquon Barkley. You knew where he stood on these issues. So him being at the White House probably wasn't a surprise to any of the players.
There's some tweets out there.
Yeah. And so, Saquon Barkley is not, he's not a guy that shocked me when that news came about. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Why you say that?
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that when you are a black athlete, how people align with their politics when you look at the people that they surround themselves with.
Okay.
Whether it's spouses, business managers, parents, whatever it is, you know where they stand on certain situations. And actions kind of speak. They speak for you. So when you look at a Jalen Hurts that has, two middle-class black parents, you're not expecting a guy raised the way that Jalen Hurts is raised and put forth in front of the media. Very he leans into his blackness, whether it's with his hair, with his fashion, with the women that he keeps around him. That says a lot, and I've never gotten that from Saquon Barkley. So
Saquon talked about tweets. He said, laughing out loud, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president. And he put the president in caption in all capital letters. Maybe I respect the office, not a hard concept to understand. Just golf with Obama not too long ago and look forward to finishing my round with Trump. Now I'll get out my mentions with all this politics. Have an amazing day.
You can't step into a boxing ring and then say, why are you guys talking to me about being involved with boxing? Again, tweets like that, it shows the level of understanding and the level of intelligence. Saquon Barkley should stick to sports.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk Lakers. They going fishing. Cancun on 3. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
All right, grads, your big moment is finally here. And parents, if you're looking for the ultimate way to say we're proud of you, there is no better gift than a brand new ride from our friends over at Reiselman Nissan. Whether it's the rugged Frontier, the stylish Altima, or the 2025 Rogue, Reiselman has the perfect car or SUV to kick off its next chapter in style. Plus, you're getting the safety, reliability, and tech that every grad and every parent can feel great about. Visit them today in Tiffany Springs, just south of the airport. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time. Hey, what's up, sports fans? Here's your chance to be a true champion with our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. It's super easy. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite players and test your skills for some serious prizes. The more champions points you play for, the more you can win. Stack points, climb the ranks, and show everybody that you're built different. And when you sign up, don't forget to use promo code The W Show. That's right, use promo code The W Show to get in the game. Let's make some champions today.
Holiday season and every day of the year, the Sola Santa Do Good Foundation is here to make a difference. They are a 501c3 organization dedicated to connecting high-functioning individuals with disabilities and their families to vital resources, support services, and opportunities. Through personalized professional development, community awareness, and education, they empower lives and create lasting change. Join their mission to do good 365 by volunteering, donating, or partnering with them today. Visit thesolacenter.org to learn more. Together, we can help everyone experience the fullness of life.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. We have a talk about it coming up a little bit later on the show. I think you guys are going to like this one. Finishing out today's headlines. So, man, the Lakers, my squad, they out of there.
I know you happy about this.
Going in 5.
Even though whatever I believe and think about LeBron James doesn't matter. Like, I still like the Lakers. I still want them to win.
You want them to win. You just do not want LeBron to have as many or more rings than Kobe Bryant. And that's fine.
Do you think this is it for him? Or do you think he's going to come back next year?
He'll be back.
I think he'll be back. I think next year is his last year.
What Bryce is a senior this year, right?
Bryce is a senior, yes.
Well, people are wondering if he's going to try to play with him too.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of year they have next year.
Lakers?
Yeah. It depends on what kind, and just seeing the news come out that LeBron had a torn something or a slight tear in his MCL or something like that.
Really?
Or after the
I
game.
thought somebody was trolling.
After the game, and that he wouldn't have been available anyway for game. Would have been game 6. He wouldn't have been available. So, I mean, it just sucks because seeing the way that they lost, I really felt like you learned a lot about this Lakers team and JJ Redick and his coaching ability.
KFC, UFC, TLC,
Lakers
on in there.
Would you learn? Is he not a good coach?
I mean, I can't say you have a big sitting on your bench, and you're not going to at least try to play him.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna do whatever this is an elimination game. Like you got to do whatever you can do to play this dude or to figure it out. And you knew ahead of time, no way is Rudy Gobert gonna just demolish us. You know.
Yeah.
You're continuing to send a double team at Anthony Edwards. However, you're getting beat by Rudy Gobert. Like I know it's kind of give and take, but like sometimes you got it. You kept sending a double, knowing that your rotation was off. Come on, man, stop sending a double. Tell somebody lock up and let's go. Or even LeBron, like, hey, I got him. Don't even worry about it. I know a 40-year-old LeBron compared to a 20-something-year-old Anthony Edwards. But come on, man. LeBron, y'all got to figure it out.
LeBron's probably a better off the ball defender than on, but still, no, ain't happening.
All right, Orlando Dreamers say that they've secured $1.5 billion for potential MLB expansion franchise. So in a major development for professional sports in Central Florida, the Orlando Dreamers is reporting that it has secured $1.5 billion financial commitment aimed at landing a Major League Baseball team in Orlando, Florida.
Would that mean they would add a second team, or is there a odd number of teams in there? Major leagues.
Well, the Major League Baseball is trying to add. They're trying to expand. Not only in Orlando, but there are some other cities like Salt Lake City, Charlotte, Portland, Nashville, who are all trying to expand to get more teams.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, especially in Orlando, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Orlando and Charlotte are very hot locations.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, 5-time SEC Coach of the Year Dawn Staley has been honored with her own statue and has been celebrated with the declaration of May as Coach Dawn Staley Month in South Carolina.
That's dope.
That is dope. It makes me I'm super excited for her. Also, too, because I feel like Columbia, South Carolina is my second home.
Yeah.
But it makes me think back to when Asia Wilson, when hers was unveiled, and she talked about how her grandmother couldn't even attend that school. Now she has a statue out there. So I think it's dope. We got Asia and we got Dawn. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
South Carolina doing some good things down there.
All right, we're gonna take another quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hater Love It segment. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
All right, grads, your big moment is finally here. And parents, if you're looking for the ultimate way to say we're proud of you, there is no better gift than a brand new ride from our friends over at Reiselman Nissan. Whether it's the rugged Frontier, the stylish Altima, or the 2025 Rogue, Reiselman has the perfect car or SUV to kick off this next chapter in style. Plus, you're getting the safety, reliability, and tech that every grad and every parent can feel great about. Visit them today in Tiffany Springs, just south of the airport. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time. Hey, what's up, sports fans? Here's your chance to be a true champion with our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. It's super easy. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite players and test your skills for some serious prizes. The more champions points you play for, the more you can win. Stack points, climb the ranks, and show everybody that you're built different. And when you sign up, don't forget to use promo code The W Show. That's right, use promo code The W Show to get in the game. Let's make some champions today.
Holiday season and every day of the year, the Soul of Santa Do Good Foundation is here to make a difference. They are a 501c3 organization dedicated to connecting high-functioning individuals with disabilities and their families to vital resources, support services, and opportunities. Through personalized professional development, community awareness, and education, they empower lives and create lasting change. Join their mission to do good 365 by volunteering, donating, or partnering with them today. Visit thesolarcenter.org to learn more. Together, we can help everyone experience the fullness of life.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, back in on the W show. Remember to use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Guess what, y'all? We gotta talk about it today. This one's pretty funny. I know you guys are excited to talk about this one, but if you guys remember earlier this week, there was a debate going on social media. And Sherry K008904 on X asked us to weigh in on the gorilla versus 100 men debate. So if you don't know, the question resurfaced this week that originally went viral back in 2022 on social media. The question was a hypothetical fight between 100 men and one gorilla. Who would win? So Sherry wants our answer to that. Who will win? And before y'all answer, according to experts, gorillas, I had to, go a little deep and find out, what all was going on with these gorillas. So gorillas are 400 pounds. They can grow between 5'5" and 6 foot tall. They're also 5 to 10 times stronger than humans. So I'll let y'all answer.
Exactly. I'm going to be the guy present that opens the door and watches everyone else because I'm not stupid.
Yeah, definitely. If I had to bet on something, I'm betting on a gorilla. For sure.
Gorilla? Okay. Like I said, I went down a little rabbit hole watching this, and there have been some scientists that have kind of, did some research on this thing, and they said that 100 men, like grown men with no weapons or anything, could take down a gorilla.
Good luck.
I just feel like, just based off of like movies I've seen, like as soon as you crawl up there, the gorilla gonna fling you, like a little flap.
Now we ain't talking about in the tree or nothing. So here's the thing: so gorillas are super strong, but they'll go for like maybe 5-6 minutes, and then they're tired out because they're so big. And then you got 100 guys, so you'll be able to surround it and kind of. You just don't want to be first.
Right. You need like 25 to 30 to go first. Wear them out for 5 minutes, according to experts.
Yep.
And then let the rest go in. And
you just don't want to be first because you go get mauled.
You said, "Where's my popcorn? I'm sitting in the stand."
You would never have 100 people on the same page executing the same strat. Like we have football teams that are 53 people that can't always be on the same page in battle against other humans. So you telling me against a gorilla? Nah, okay. If a gorilla has a strength of 20 people, it's going to take you about 45 seconds. If you're 80th in line, it'll take about 45 seconds before you meet your demise. So
I told you, they're going to get flung.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to today's Hater Love It segment.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, first up with our sneakers of the week. These ones right here. I don't know how if you guys are feeling these or not, but this is one of those weeks where it's like hated it. Let's check these out. Here we go. All right, Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack Bright Cactus.
I like those.
I do too. They're pretty cool. Yeah. All right, how about the Angel Reese Reebok Club C Women's Chalk Sunset Coral?
No, I'm not a fan, and I love her.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right, Air Jordan 4 Women's Aluminum.
I like these.
Yep.
These are fire too.
Very simple.
The CSEF Nike Dunk SB Dunk Lows.
Decent. Travis Scott does a good job with his shoe selection.
How much hands-on do you think he has with that collab?
He probably has quite a bit, but he probably has a team that he trusts that handles that small team, 2 or 3 maybe.
All right, Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor both turned down Giants number 3 pick Abdul Carter's requests for their jersey numbers. Hater love it.
Phil Simms.
The number 3 pick in the 2025 NFL draft made requests this week for For the jersey numbers of Giants greats Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms, he was turned down by both. Both numbers have been officially retired by the Giants for years, so Carter needed their permission to unretire them. So he first made his request to Lawrence Taylor, saying during an interview on draft night that he had the number 56 in mind for Giants' career. And no Giant has worn number 56 since Taylor's 142-sack career with the team, which ended in 1993. So Lawrence Taylor responded earlier this week, says, I know he would love to wear that number, but hey, I think it's retired. Get another number. I don't care if it's 00, and then make it famous.
I mean, you got a point.
Yeah.
These numbers get retired for a reason. Like, honored that you would want to wear my number, but go ahead and make another number famous. This one's mine.
Yeah, I get it for Lawrence Taylor. Phil Simms.
All right, NFL fines Falcons $250,000 and defensive coordinator Jeff Albrecht $100,000 over a leak of Shedeur Sanders' phone number. Hater to love it.
I think we need to be more.
How would you like it if TJ got you fined $100,000?
Let me tell you something. TJ wouldn't hear the end of it. Would not hear the end of it at all. Out the wheel.
Q?
I mean, I'm glad that there's some kind of repercussions, but also should have been fired.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I think you think he should have been fired from leaking his number?
I halfway believe the story that he just left an iPad laying around.
Yeah.
Very halfway believe that story.
Yeah. But there were others too around the league that were prank called.
There's definitely others, but
even your boy Cooper DeJean was prank called a couple years ago.
I remember that, but Cooper DeJean also wasn't the talk of the draft.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show, whether you're watching us on YouTube, at your house, or listening to us on 100.1 FM, watching us on any other social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show on Mondays, 100.1 FM. Until next week, we are out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed of the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.